heavy load today, even though Southampton is not really a passing team.
I appreciate that, Bill. Pete Sarver, you've been talking with coaches for both clubs, and you've gotten an idea of how the Graham G-men feel coming into this game. Are they fired up? Are they nervous? How do they feel about this contest today?
Well, as Coach Carlock has said all year, they seem to be loose and just out and playing and having fun. I think the Graham G-men are definitely ready, and I know they're thoroughly well cut. They're just going to have a fantastic game today.
It's a good shot of Tony Palmer making his way off the field. They were giving him all kinds of accolades before the teams made their way onto the field this afternoon. And we wish Tony the best of luck. This is Tony last year, Bill.
You know, they're replacing him today in the secondary on defense with Mike Patton, who's their outstanding quarterback. And should Patton sustain an injury, God forbid, in this game this afternoon, Graham would really have to be pushed to find a quarterback on offense. Coach Carlock's had to go with the experienced athlete in the secondary, and that's Patton. We just hope the best for him and hope everybody stays healthy.
All right, we're going to get the offense started here in just a moment. Graham elected to, the Indians have elected to receive. Back deep for the Indians will be Derek Gray, number 40. He is a 5'10", 155-pound junior, and I'm told this gentleman is fast. Offensively for the Indians, Pete Sarver, if you'll run down the offensive lineup for the Indians.
Starting at quarterback, number 14, Sean Battle. Fullback, number 41, Kenneth Ford. At tailback, number 7, Antoine Mason. Shotback, number 32, Jermaine Holloman. We'll go to the offensive line in a moment.
All right, kickoff is up, and it's going to go into the end zone, and it'll be brought back out to the 20, so we'll get it started 1st and 10 offensively for Southampton. Coach Littleton Parker, the head coach of the Southampton Indians, this is his first state championship game as a head coach, but believe me, he has championship game experience. 7 as an assistant with 4 wins during those 7 games. Again, Sean Battle will be at quarterback. They'll start it off 1st and 10 at the 20. And this game is underway. Sean Battle, the quarterback, Kenneth Ford back in the backfield along with Antoine Mason. Up under center. They'll go out of the end. They'll give it off to Kenneth Ford. Kenneth is stuck at the line of scrimmage for a loss, and the G-men are definitely fired up during this contest.
Southampton came out in what we're going to refer to today as their special load offense, where they run their blocking back up right between the guard and the tackle, and then run the fullback right off behind him. The Graham G-men did a great job on that play.
Yeah, and that load offense, that's an interesting setup. The gentlemen, they split over there. 6'4", 278 pounds. It is 2nd and 10 on the 20. This time they'll give it out to Ford once more. Ford around the left side. And he gets about 3. Check that, gets about 6 on the carry. That'll bring up a 3rd down situation.
The other back in that backfield for Southampton is a big one, too. Jermaine Holloman is a freshman, and he's 6'1", 225, and he's the man that they run behind quite a bit when they go into that load offense.
Speaking of the right side, Kenneth Day, number 56, guard, 5'9", 170. Reddick Parker, 6'5", 225-pound senior. Gary Warren split wide, 6'4", 210 pounds. Big play here for the G-men, 3rd and 3. Out of the eye. He's stuck behind the line. No, he's not stuck. Yeah, he is. Credit that tackle to number 6 for Graham. And a good stop on that play.
Yeah, Chris Patton, Graham's all-state linebacker, fell on the ball. The exchange never was made. The quarterback turned, and he never had a chance. Patton just fell on the football. Graham's got excellent field position here early in the 1st quarter.
So explosively is a key word we can say defensively for the Graham G-men, and they've been explosive all year long, so they're going to take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Here we go. In at quarterback, Mike Patton, the keeper, pitches it out to Rick Brown. Brown around the right side, down to the 20, actually down to the 10-yard line, and a good carry.
William
That was a gorgeous offensive play. Graham faked right into the middle and took it outside. A beautiful pitch by quarterback Patton. Rick Brown made a nice play down the sideline. Just a beautiful option for the G-men.
William Cofield saved a touchdown there for Southampton by knocking Ricky Brown out, and Ricky Brown almost maintained his footing and stayed in bounds and got to the flag.
I tell you what, that'll bring up a 1st and 6, the first goal situation. second possession. This time straight up the middle. He'll get down to about the 2-yard line.
Marcus Latimer, the big fullback for Graham.
Latimer, number 3, on that carry. That'll bring up a second and goal to goal.
With Tony Palmer out of the lineup, Bob, it's going to put a big load on Rick Brown and Marcus Latimer today, as well as Patton's option plays. Patton scored a touchdown in each of the last 7 games. So he's done quite a bit of work on the ground himself.
All right, here we go. Second and goal for the G-men. Patton up under center. He'll keep it himself. The pitch out, and it's dropped. A fumble on the play, and Rick Brown will recover the ball. That was a big play there.
Big hit by Marcus Harris, number 42 for Southampton, knocked the ball loose. Ricky Brown recovered it, and as you said, what a break early for Southampton, because it looked like Graham's going to go right in and score.
Southampton crowd is coming out today. They've got a good crowd, and they are on the sunny side of Mitchell Stadium, so they're going to stay warm, and they're definitely going to stay on their feet this afternoon. Go ahead, Pete.
This is a third down situation. Kind of looks like a passing situation for the Grand Team.
That they will do. They will split wide to the left. I'll check the number and get back with you on it. Patton back to pass. He's got a man open, but no good. Underthrew him just a hair. Ryan King, the end, was open, but Patton just underthrew him just a hair. That'll bring up a 4th down situation.
Southampton put excellent pressure on the quarterback that time, and it was a crossing route that was just fell barely incomplete. So they'll bring up a 4th down like you said.
All right, a 4th down situation. Rick Brown will be back to kick from this 20. This will be a 30-yard attempt.
Quite probably one of the keys for Graham today, Bob, is Ricky Brown's foot, both out of placement and as a punter. He's an excellent kicker, probably a Division I prospect.
It is up. It looks to be good, but it's wide to the left. So Graham's first attempt at scoring falls short with the fumble, but they'll get it back, believe me. 8:55 left in the first quarter. We'll be back. You're watching a Hay 2 video production on Telescripts Cable Channel 2.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning, Miss...
Into a big play.
I'll tell you, Bob, Graham is just really an opportunistic defense. They're just playing fantastic start off the day with, putting the Graham offense in a really good position. I really look for Graham to come out and do something with Wishbone's time.
A lot of people predicting that this game's going to be a blowout by Graham. The way they're playing now, it looks pretty good. All right, 1st and 10, they'll go from the 27-yard line. The G-men, back to pass. Nobody open, he's pressured, stuck behind the line, and the tackle will be made by number 72 for the Indians.
It was Riddick Parker. He's their all-state defensive tackle, and he's a big one, 6'5", 255. It didn't look like anybody handled him up front. He just came right through, got Patton, and threw him down.
They have got, the Southampton Indians have a huge right side of the offensive line, and they've got big players as well as they have small players, and we'll get into that. We'll go down the depth chart here in just a couple of moments. 2nd and 12, 8:02 in the first quarter. Ball is on the 29-yard line. The G-men split 2 guys wide to the right. Ryan King. They'll also split out to the right. Eddie Caffery. Here's the pass. Drops. Bob's attempt for Rick Brown, and Rick couldn't hold on to it.
Excuse me, that was an unusual formation that Graham has not shown us this year. It's kind of similar to a run and shoot type offense. Conducive to passing, unfortunately, wasn't.
Mike Patton's passing in the playoffs, Bob, has been outstanding. He's 10 of 20 for 262 yards. He's really been a key in their 3 playoff games. They threw some even on that field last weekend fairly successfully.
I was watching video of that last week, and I just could not believe you couldn't see a color on their jersey other than brown. 3rd and 12 on the 29-yard line for the G-men. Rick Brown out to the right side. Patton back to pass, getting pressured again. Got some running room. Up across, down to the 20, down to the 15, knocked out of bounds to the 15. That'll be a 1st down.
Big hit by Percy Ellsworth from Southampton, or Mike Patton may have taken it in.
That was a gorgeous play by Mike Patton, the quarterback. Graham came in on the broken bone offense that time, and he just made a beautiful scramble with that play.
I tell you, the Graham G-men fans have not sat down Bill and Pete, these guys are fired up. I don't think I've ever seen a more fired up group of fans than with the Grand G-Men. Everybody has a pom-pom in their hand, and they're fired up. All right, this time out of the wishbone. 1st and 10. Patton, this time to Eddie Caffery. And again, Eddie Caffery will be in for Tony Palmer, who broke his ankle in last week's game. So Eddie Caffery and Brett Surface will come in and fill that position throughout the game.
You know, you were talking about the spirit here of the Graham crowd. This has been an area that's been dominated for years by Bluefield High School football, and it looks now Graham has finally got a chance to earn their own championship and make their place in area high school football history, and they've got the opportunity right in front of them.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 8 on the 13. 7:07 ticking away. This time they'll give to Marcus Latimer. Latimer around the left side, up across the 5-yard line. He'll be just short of the first down. That'll bring up the 4th down situation. And it'll be 4th and inches. And you would imagine that the Graham G-Men, with the momentum that they have been carrying throughout the season, what with right up in USA Today, their appearance on ESPN, the All Sports Network, these kids are going to go for it. Check me on that. It's 3rd and 1. I was thinking it was 4th down. It's a 3rd down situation. Again out of the wishbone. Patton up under center. This time to give to Latimer once again, and Latimer gets maybe 1, if any. I think he'll still be short of the first down. He will be.
The last plays brings him in and get another position.
David Lawson shuttling a play in, Bob, from the sidelines, and it looks like Graham may go ahead and try to get the first down here on 4th and a couple of inches.
Coach Carlock's going to think about this one. They'll call their first time out of the game. We have no score. Pretty decent. First quarter's been all Graham G-Men with the fumble. We'll be back in just a moment. This is the West Virginia Sports Network on Telescripts Cable Channel 2. We're going to go for it. Offsides and flags fly, as you see in the backfield. They bring in number 62. That'll be Brian Denham, and number 71, I do believe that was. I have to check the number 75. That'll be Tony Young. They put them in the backfield. They obviously aren't there, and they didn't see the snap count. So that'll be procedure call on the G-Men. That'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 6. And as you can see, a weird offense here. All kinds of people all over the place. They'll put Ryan King tight end position, 2 tight end positions here. They're going to go for the field goal. What am I looking at?
Rick Brown is going to try an 28-yard field goal, but it's from right in the middle of the field where there was some ground torn up.
It is up, and it is no good. So for the second time, Rick is just a bit wide, and they have come up scoreless at both attempts. Again, no score in the ballgame, 5:58 in the first quarter. We'll be back. You're watching Graham G-Men High School football on the West Virginia Sports Network. Jeremy Carball, the center for the G-Men, who also plays a tackle position, and a couple of other gentlemen.
You know, Rick Hayes.
Bob, again, the Graham G-Men defense is just playing incredibly well so far. And it looks like they're going to need to keep it up and give the offense time to get something going.
Pete, they're reacting so well to that quarterback as he steps back away from center. He's really hasn't had a whole lot of time so far to do a lot of ball handling or anything in the backfield.
All right, 2nd and 10 on the 20. Mix up in communication. They give it to the bridge, and it's Kenneth Floyd. This guy is big, 6'4", 270 pounds, and he gets upfield for about a 3-yard gain. And that's an interesting formation. This gentleman, if I can find my notes, this kid here, this number 41, played at tackle position up to the 6th game of the year, I do believe, for the Indians. And then for some weird reason, I guess the same way they did with Refrigerator Perry, that said, hey, let's put this guy in the backfield, put him in on an offensive play. And they have done it, been successful with it. 7 or 15 touchdowns this gentleman has got. 3rd and 6. And he gets maybe 1, and that's going to do it.
Southampton moved him after their only loss of the season to Tab, 16-7 in the 6th game of the season. And he's gone over 1,200 yards in rushing and 15 touchdowns since then. They may have found a deficiency in their ground game and decided they needed some beef, and he certainly is it.
All right, they're going to have to punt it away on 4th down. Back to receive will be Ryan King. He'll be back at about his own 39-yard line. Here's the punt, and it is up. Bad punt out to the 40-yard line, and it'll roll out of bounds. There's a defense. Big turnover on that play.
Chris Everett, the punter for Southampton, was run into by a couple of G-men, and it didn't appear that either one of them got their hand on the ball, and that certainly is a running into the kicker or roughing the kicker penalty. We'll see how it's called.
Our broadcast brought to you by these fine folks, Ira's Diamond World. We make it, we stand behind it. First National Bank of Bluefield with 4 convenient locations to serve you. Humanis, St. Luke's, College Avenue Chevron, your full-service station, and Hardee's, who has coffee, which I could go for a cup right now. I know you will. First and 10, 4:09 in the first quarter. Basically an all G-men first quarter thus far. Here we go offensively once again. First and 10 from the 41. They'll give it to the big guy, Mark Ford. And Mark is stuck for a loss. How you stick a 6'4", 278-pound senior, beyond me. The G-men can do it. They've done it all year.
The G-men defense rose to the occasion again. This time, Southampton came out in a power right formation, ran the tailback on a sweep for the first time, and the G-men were right there.
Tony Young with great pursuit on that one, Bob. He came in from behind and caught him really before he was able to get up ahead of steam. Graham's pursuit so far has been excellent.
Unfortunately, we've had an injury in the stands, and we certainly do wish our best. It is 2nd and 9. This time to the big guy once more. He'll go straight up the middle, be short of the first down, gain of about 6 yards on the carry. And again, this gentleman, since the 6th game of the year, they took him from the tackle position, put him in the fullback position after their only loss, which came against Tab. He has rushed for over 1,200 yards. We'll call it 1,250 at least, and 15 touchdowns.
Bob Graham's worst nightmare almost appeared to stand by letting Kenneth Ford break through the line of scrimmage, because if he gets up ahead of steam, he could really roll.
As you see, we've got all kinds of paper and posters flying on the field. It is a windy day here at Mitchell Stadium. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2 situation out of the power out. This time to the big guy, Kenneth Ford. Ford will get up and get the first down. So that is the first down offensively for the Indians this game. They'll get out across midfield into Graham G-men territory.
Southampton not really a flashy offensive team from what we've been able to determine. Last week, Rustburg, the team that Graham beat in the semifinals, was more of a quick option team, and the wet field really hurt them. I don't think that'll be the case here with Southampton today, as they go basically between the tackles and grind it out. Their size may even be a factor where it may wear Graham down as the game goes along if that power game continues.
All right, 1st and 10. This time they'll give the number 7. That is Antoine. And he's stuck behind the line. You can credit that tackle to number 65. That'll be Chris Patton.
Chris Patton is a super defensive player, obviously so. He made All-State in Virginia this year. I'm really looking forward to the matchup between Chris Patton and Kenneth Ford today.
Pete, you saw some game footage of the Southampton team. Are they basically a ground-oriented team? Are they going to stay to the ground? Or do they go up top of once in a while?
Very much so. When they come out in the load formation, they primarily run to that side of the field, and it looks like that's the way they're headed today.
They've got a strong right side. We'll tell you more about that. 2nd and 11 on the 46. The big guy, number 41, gets it. And there's Chris Patton once again. Patton just goes toe-to-toe with him, helmet to helmet. And he gets maybe 2 out of the carry, but
Next time, Chris, take him ankles out, buddy.
Chris Patton's a 4-year starter at linebacker for Coach Carlock. He started out as a 138-pound 9th grader. Now he's 190 pounds and solid as a rock, and has been in that lineup virtually for I guess he's coming close to 50 games in his career at Graham High School.
I'd also like to tell you, if you've enjoyed our coverage over the past season of Bluefield and the Graham, I'll hold that thought. We'll get to that in just 1 second. 3rd and 7. Back to pass for the first time. They connect out on the right side, the flat to number 7. That is Antoine Mason. Antoine coming out of the backfield and catch that one. That'll be another first down for the Indians, and they're starting to move the ball, guys.
They certainly are. That is a nice pass play to the back out of the backfield with a deep receiver.
Come on, boys, you got to stop it.
The Graham G-men today, that could give them some trouble.
If you've enjoyed our coverage of Bluefield and the Graham G-men, you can give Mark Haig a call, our producer-director, at 325-8935, and tell him that you've enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll be back next year to bring you football as well as basketball this year, too. 1st and 10 on the 30, 56 seconds in the first quarter. Time again, Kenneth Ford. Kenneth will get maybe 1 on the carry, and we'll credit the stop to 88. the Graham G-Man.
That's David Lawson, Bob. You know, one of the things that hampered Graham early last week, they got off to a slow start in the first half. They had a bunch of penalties, somewhere close to 80 yards, and they had two golden opportunities early in this corner that they didn't take advantage of. We're getting down as the quarter rolls down, the final 30 seconds, probably one more play. We'll probably have to look at what Graham didn't do here in the first quarter when they had an opportunity to really jump on top early.
Second and 7 on the 27, 21 seconds left. And as you'll see there, they'll get maybe one again. That will bring up a fourth down situation for the Indians. A third down situation. Check me on that one.
Bob, once again, the Graham G-Men defense is right there to make a play. And they're going to need to keep doing that in order to be successful.
I want to thank Grant's Supermarket for providing our production van. They have just been super to us all season long, and we greatly appreciate Grant's Supermarket for that. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout. You're watching a Hague 2 video production on Telescripts Cable Channel 2.
McCann Motors in Tazewell says, push it, pull it, or tow it. Just get it to us, and we guarantee $2,000 trade-in on selected used cars with instant, no-hassle credit approval and immediate delivery. With over 300 cars in stock, we have the one that's right for you. Push it, pull it, or tow it to McCann Motors today. The best keeps getting better. McCann Motors in Tazewell, Virginia.
Are you sure Hardee's is...
Live your lip, man.
Are you sure Hardee's is selling figurines of us?
That's what I heard, man. Just buy hash browns, a ready dessert, and you get one of us for just 99 cents. Don't play with your food.
Jackpot!
You can collect all 4 Mount from Tang for just 99 cents each. There's a new figurine every week, only at Hardee's.
Hey, look, my lips are sealed.
Hi, I'm Eddie Pauley of Regency Real Estate and Auction Company. We built and sold this 2,400 square foot home with 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths located in Sedgwood. We also sold this 1,400 square foot home with 3 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, dining room, and Briarwood Court, Bluefield, West Virginia. We auctioned this 3-bedroom stone home located on 58 acres in Falls Mills, Virginia. For all your real estate and auction needs, contact Regency Real Estate and Auction Company, downtown Bluefield, Virginia.
No matter how busy your day, it's easier to do your banking at the First National Bank of Bluefield. Because wherever you are in Princeton or Bluefield, you'll find a First National Bank close by. In Princeton, we're easily accessible in the Pine Plaza Shopping Center and Stafford Drive. And in Bluefield, if you're uptown, visit our main offices. Or if you find yourself in South Bluefield, no problem. Just drop by our College Avenue offices.
The First National Bank of Bluefield.
Thus far, 12 plays for the Southampton Indians. We are now into the second quarter. That was the end of the first quarter just a moment ago. It'll be 4th and 6. They'll spot the ball on about the 26-yard line. And this will definitely, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Statistician Randy Belden informs us that they've run 16 plays from scrimmage so far in the game, and Ford has carried the ball on 13 of those plays. So there's pretty much no deception on what they want to do offensively.
And I tell you, with that big man, Kenneth Ford, who, you know, I'm not knocking Ford, but 278 and 6'4", really hasn't got as much as I would think he would get. I think we've got to delay a game on that play. The Indians have decided that they will go with it, go for it on 4th down. That'll back up 4th and 15, and now they're going to have to punt it away. So the Graham G-men, they're going to go for it.
It looks like they may go for it, and they came out in a power formation, which is basically their passing formation, Bob. So Graham might look for a pass right now.
Another opportunity, Bob, also to look at Graham's secondary, which has been riddled by injury the last few weeks.
Got an offside, got a flag on the play. Now blow it dead before it happened. And the secondary was planning a blitzing on that play. The secondary, they got just did miss it by half a second.
They have real good secondary coverage and blitz, and they're going a lot of heat on Southampton.
That'll make it a little bit easier for the Indians now. The 4th and 10 situation. And they will go with it. Make that 4th and 5 on the 30-yard line. So that does make it a lot easier for the Indians.
Southampton, and the grand coaches just had that one down. And we need to take that off to the grand coaches to get the G-men prepared.
Come on, Big G, let's go! Boy, he got shook up on that play. The G-men will take over on downs. First and 10 on the 34-yard line. They'll split Ryan King wide right. Out of the wishbone. They'll give it this time. No, quarterback keeper. And Pat will run it around the right side. He'll get about 5 yards away up to the 35-yard line. Check that 40-yard line.
This is a really important possession for Graham, Bob, because their first two possessions came after turnovers. They had a couple penalties and a fumble that hampered them trying to get in the end zone. There's no score on the board at this point. Graham needs to eat up some clock, get some momentum of their own, much like Hampton did on their last possession.
Virginia State Championship Division III happening right now. This time they'll split the gentleman out to the left. They'll go out of the wishbone once again. Second down. They'll give it to Brick Brown. Brick gets the first down. And the G-men are up to the 45-yard line.
Bob Graham just did something that they're going to need to do successfully in order to have a good game today, and that's run right up the Southampton. They ran that play very well and just executed it terrifically.
All right, 7 left in this first half. Only 2 penalties in the first half. Thus far, moving pretty well. It is a first and 10 situation. Mike Patton up under center. This time the give to Brown. And Brown will get just a couple, and there's some pushing and shoving between Ryan. I'll spot the other gentleman for you here in a moment.
I tell you, the footing really looks terrible out there. Ricky Brown almost fell down before he could get to the point of exchange with the quarterback that time. He stumbled 2 or 3 steps, and right in the middle of the field, the grass has been worn off through the use all season long. It's just barren, and it looks like it's got a lot of chunky divots out there. Footing's going to be tough where they are right now.
And it looks like the course I go golfing. Harry Hatters is my nickname. 2nd and 8 for the G-men. This time they'll give it to King, I do believe. No, not King. That would be to Marcus Latimer, number 3, the fullback. All right, it is 3rd and 6 on the 48-yard line. As the clock ticks in the first half. Brian Hood split to the left here. Patton stumbles a little bit, decides to keep it, gets up across midfield out to the 42-yard line, and that'll be a first down. So Mike Patton on the keeper, and we've seen him do this all year, guys. He'll keep it, and he'll go for the first down and get it.
That was just a terrifically well-executed option play on Mike Patton's part. He faked up into the middle and drew him in and then went outside with it, and that's just a truly heady performance by his team leader.
Last week, Mike Patton had a very important play similar to that. He broke for 65 yards and a touchdown around the left side when just after Tony Palmer had been injured and Graham was down a little bit emotionally.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10. We got a timeout on the field, do we? Yes, we do. The Indians will take a timeout. We'll take timeout. And advise you, you're watching a Hague 2 video production on Telescripts Cable Channel 2.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning. Miss, thank you. Here's your Bullwinkle, Miss Change.
We're working on it.
Your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Chevron. We fuel your freedom.
Santa does all his shopping at Goody Coons Pharmacy. Designer fragrances to delight all the men and ladies on his list. Brands such as Red by Giorgio, Shalimar, and Metropolis for men. Everyone on Santa's list is Russell Over candy, and attached to every package, ambassador greeting cards. At Goody Coons Pharmacy, Santa will also find the perfect gift for the busy executive, cross pens. And when he's all through shopping, he can ship his packages from the Package Express Center at Goody Coons Pharmacy, corner of Bland and South Streets, Bluefield.
All right, welcome back. It is 1st and 10. The G-men, the give to Brown. On the reverse, around the right side. He's got plenty of room, and he's short of of the first down by maybe a half an inch or so. Good play.
Great play, Bob. Crossbuck type action by the Graham G men. The Southampton Indians took the fake inside, and Ricky Brown was able to scoot outside with a real nice run.
Really crushing block, too, on the front, by the right side of the Graham offensive line. They really pinned the defensive end, and Brown had wide open sailing to the sidelines.
All right, having a little mic trouble. We'll check this out, make sure we get it for you. 2nd and 1 on the 34. The G-men. Here we go. Long snap count, trying to draw them off sides, but that won't go. They'll get maybe 2 inches out of that play. They'll still be short of the first down. All right, we hope we got our mic troubles fixed up for you, and I understand we do.
Big Riddick Parker again for Southampton. Their all-state lineman stopped Ricky Brown in his tracks. Graham still has a full yard to go to get the first down and keep this drive alive.
All right, they will bring in 2 new tackles, Tony Young, number 75, and the guard, Brian Denham, number 62. They'll come into play. They'll give Rick Brown a rest. These young men will go in the backfield once again. This looks kind of like the Indians play here. Putting the 2 big guys in a backfield, and they'll be content to give it to Marcus Latimer, and he'll get the first down. And a few more.
It may look like the Indians play, but it certainly was executed well with 2 big blocking backs up in there. Graham just ran a straight power play and got terrific yardage there.
If Marcus Harris hadn't grabbed Latimer as he jumped over the line there for Southampton, Latimer would have gotten a lot more than what he got.
Well, and also probably what he could have done was just completed that gainer, got up and kept on running. Again, no score. We're 6:18 left in the first half at Mitchell Stadium. A great afternoon for football. Sunny and the high right now right around 50. Get a first down. Patton on the option play. Fumbled! And let's see who's on top of it. I think the Indians are on top of it. Great camera work, gentlemen. You were right on that one. And just that quick, the momentum can shift, and that will fire up the Southampton club.
Bob, you're certainly right. This concerns me greatly now, the momentum factor for the Graham G-men. This is 3 times now we've come up empty-handed, and we need to get things turned around and get it going.
You know, Bob, one of the things Graham's avoided in the playoffs, they've only had 3 turnovers in the 12 quarters of the playoff games. 2 fumbles and an interception. They need to avoid that today.
All right, the Indians on the first down, nothing doing. There's a flag on the play, and I think the flag was whistled dead before it took place. As you see the officials talking it over, and we'll get the call. So that'll back the Indians up 5 yards. That'll bring up a 1st and 15. So 1st and 15, 5:49. The Graham G-men, the brick wall, and making our way into the field, gentlemen, this morning as we were coming in. They have just had all kinds of banners lined up, and there is all kinds of motion right there. The tight end and the split end and the tackle said, hey, let's go on this snap count. The guards decided, nope, that isn't the snap count. And there's the call.
Bob, you're exactly right. The Graham G-men brick wall are really keeping the G-men in the ball game right now at this point, and they kind of had their backs against the wall. They're really coming up with the big plays when they need them.
Southampton's averaged 31 points a game this year, Bob, and of course Graham's defense is well documented what they've done, 8 shutouts. This is an interesting matchup, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, I saw it coming. There you go. The big guy. He has been, if you can give an MVP for the first half, it's got to go to Chris Patton. Chris read that play directly, coming out of his middle linebacker position. Whoo!
All-State Chris Patton on a perfect blitz, slanting right inside and making a terrific tackle.
Chris, you're doing an excellent job today.
They're making Sean Battle's life miserable back there at the quarterback position for the Indians. Half the plays he's tried to run, he hasn't had time to get out from under center.
1st and 20. They're going to be content to pass. They'll put it up in the air. Got a man open, caught, and short of the first down by just about a foot. Good play. And the intended receiver and the receiver was Chris Everett, the 5'9", 155-pound junior. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 situation.
Ryan King made a great stop on that to prevent him from getting the first down. I imagine we'll see Mr. Ford this time.
I would imagine too, gentlemen. Kenneth Ford, 6'4", 278-pound senior, over 15 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. They'll put it up again. Battles back, got plenty of time, going long. Could be, but no. He overthrows his intended receiver, and that'll be number 35, the tight end Gary Warren. And back deep to cover was Rick Brown. Rick was all over him. Mike Patton, check me on that one. Mike Patton.
I guess you noticed how well defended that pass was by the G-men. Again, that's where the coaching and the scouting reports come in, because Southampton lined up in the power I formation, which is their passing formation.
All right, back to punt, and back deep will be Palmer. Check that. Rick Brown. And they will take over at the 25-yard line. And they'll go 1st and 10 from the 25.
A real solid tackle by Derek Gary, number 40 of Southampton, who's also a real speedy punt returner. He looks like he's a special teams man all the way around.
Rick Brown, number 30, was the gentleman. And I'm sorry if I say Tony Palmer's name throughout this game. You'll have to excuse me. Again, Tony Palmer out with a broken ankle, and Tony's on the sidelines in a golf cart down here to the right end of the field. Tony, a senior this year, done an excellent job. John Grubb also out of the game. We'll talk more about those gentlemen and the seniors for the G-men. 1st and 10, 27-yard line is where we'll go. Patton back to pass. He's getting pressured, but he's scrambling out to the left. He'll have to run it out of bounds at the 21, so there'll be a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Good coverage by the Indians.
Graham came out that time in a slot left formation out of their wishbone, looking to make a pass, obviously because of the time element involved, and I think Graham can move the ball down the field passing against Southampton.
Pete Sarver is up in the booth along with Bill Armour and Randy Belt, our stat man. Pete, you do look a lot like Mark Sarver. You guys related?
How do I respond to a question like that? I'm afraid we are.
Mark Sarver's not able to be with us. He's in Roanoke. And Mark, you're missing a good one. It is 2nd and 16 on the 22. Ryan King split wide right. Back to pass. And it's caught. This time, Marcus Latimer out to the left side. Across midfield. 50, 45-yard line. Taken down at the 45. 1st down. Good play.
33 yards on the screen pass, and that was just what the doctor ordered. Riddick Parker had been pressuring the Graham backs and quarterback Mike Patton for a couple of plays, and they just threw over him that time.
I just can't say enough about Mike Patton and quarterback, how smooth he is and what a good field general. He really hung in there tough on that play and made a great pass on a beautifully executed screenplay.
Unfortunately, Mike Patton will not be returning next year, nor will Eric Robinson, Eddie Caldwell, Ryan King, Chris Patton, Brian Hoops. But they got a lot of freshmen and sophomores. Here's Eddie Caffrey around to the left side. You'll see Eddie and Brett Surface switching off in that position in the backfield.
And one guy who will be back on Graham's offense next year, Eric Workman, number 73, threw a great block up there on the left side that allowed him to go for a couple more yards. Workman is 6'6", and somewhere around 275 pounds, and he's got another year for Graham.
Eric's an incredible kid. 2nd and 5 on the 40-yard line. Good shot of the quarterback, Mike Patton. Patton stumbles just a bit. This time they'll give it to Eddie Caffrey once more. Caffrey out across to the 35-yard line. That'll be good enough for a 1st down.
Great call by Graham's offensive coordinator, running a sprint draw trap that time. Southampton kind of looking for a pass, and Graham confused him with a run.
All right, the Indians will call their... check that. I thought they were calling a timeout, but no, just a ball exchange on the field.
As the clock winds down to 2 minutes, Bob, it's important Graham gets something on the scoreboard. As good an opportunities as they have had here in the first half to come up scoreless would be a shame.
Turnover's a key factor in this game thus far, and they have had plenty of time to get it in. 1st and 10, Patton back to pass, wide open, Ryan King on the left side. Ryan a gain of 7 yards on the play. And that was just a planned play. They'll go with the hurry-up offense. Coach Carlock screaming, let's go, guys.
Another nice, smooth delivery by Mike Patton.
They'll stop the clock, just time to exchange the ball. Patton again, back to pass, same play. But this time I don't think Ryan King knew that pass was coming.
Kind of looked like there he might just be killing the clock with an incomplete pass. Again,
I think you're right.
By a senior quarterback.
I think you're right. And that is a good play. And the clock has stopped. 1:29 left in the first half. Again, no score from the stadium. Fantastic afternoon for football. right around 50 degrees or so. Wind's blowing up pretty good, and that, I understand the winds are supposed to whip up a little harder as this game progresses, so that could be a key to the 2 missed field goal attempts. Here's the G-men once again. 3rd and 2 on the 26. Patton with the keeper. He'll get the first down. Wide open. Out across down to the 11-yard line. And you called that play. Pete Sarver called that play. He pointed to it on the ground there. He said, option, option, option. Speak up.
What a great and heady call there by Mike Patton. Executed the play again brilliantly.
Again, hurry-up offense. Here we go. 1st and goal for the G-men. Check that. 1st and 10 from the 14. And the intended receiver was Ryan King. And Patton just overthrew him a bit, and I think he just wanted to stop the clock on that play as well.
Mike Patton's contributions all season long have certainly been a real key for Graham, but during the playoffs, he's especially been important with his running and his passing. His option play went for 65 yards and a touchdown last week. It was still a close ball game with Rustburg and really put him on their way to their 30-8 route. Patton's running really important, especially with Palmer and Grubb out.
Here we go. It is 2nd and 10 on the 14. The G-men. Back to pass Patton. He's got a man open, but thought he had a man open, but Ryan King had 2 defenders on him in the end zone. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. That'll stop the clock with 1:11 to go. Bands making their way onto the field for the halftime festivities. Our sponsors again, Goody Kunz Pharmacy, where Jerry and staff can fill all your prescription needs. Regency Realty, Ira's Diamond World, and First National Bank of Bluefield with 4 convenient locations. Big play here, 3rd 10 on the 14. Got a little motion. Patton, the keeper. Patton will get down to the 6, down to the 6-yard line. They'll be short of the 1st down, but you can imagine they'll go for it here.
Bob, Mike Patton's doing a terrific job of leading the offense down the field right now, both running and throwing, and I look for the G-men to stick the ball in the end right here.
Did you get a good shot of Mike Patton in the offense as we take a timeout? Actually, we're not going to take a timeout. Field is a bit on the muddy side. Not as bad as last week. Not as bad as last week, but Rick Brown, Mike Patton will hold for the field goal. Rick Brown, this will be about a 20-yard attempt, 22-yard attempt. Rick is up, and it's straight down the middle. So the G-men put 3 on the scoreboard. 24 seconds left in the 1st half. The G-men 3, the Indians nothing. We'll be back. You're watching G-men High School football on the West Virginia Sports Network.
Folks, at Ira Diamond World, you can buy quality diamond clusters direct from the manufacturer. Whatever the size of your wallet, I've got a cluster for you. And you save money by cutting out the middleman. Every one of these quarter-carat clusters was made in my factory. They're all on sale now for just $269.95. I make it myself. That's how I sell it for less. If you want a diamond cluster for that special holiday gift, come to Ira's Diamond World, downtown Richlands and Bluefield, and the New Beckley Crossing next to Walmart. Now open every night till 8, Sunday 1 to 5.
Thousands of people each year seek out information on a variety of topics, even where to find a doctor.
I found my doctor because he was my mother's doctor, my grandmother's doctor, my Aunt Sophie's doctor.
Well, I found my doc when I had to get that physical back in high school.
I found my doctor in the yellow pages, like everything else.
And some fall a little short of what they were looking for. Now you can choose a doctor for all the right reasons. Call Humana Hospital's Physician Information Service. We'll bring you face-to-face with a qualified physician.
Stadium, the G-men have scored on 9 plays, 3 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock. Rick Brown, a 20-yard field goal, so it is 3-0. Rick will place the ball on the 40, and they'll be kicking off. And the Indians are back deep to receive. Again, 24 seconds. Good kick. And the Indian touched it, dropped down on one, decided to run it, stuck, and he'll be tackled at the 6-yard line. Good hustle by the G-men, and in on the stop, I do believe, was Brian Hoops. I think Brian made the first touch, or maybe it was Terry Quisenberry.
Bob, real quickly, I just can't say enough what a great coaching call that was that Coach Carlock made, and how incredible it must feel for a young man like Ricky Brown, for someone like Coach Carlock to show the kind of confidence he did in him to allow him to kick that field goal.
There's Coach Carlock there as he looks on the field. Again, 3-0. The G-men had a couple of opportunities to score. There were a couple fumbles, a crucial penalty. 1st and 10, and this first half will wind down. And at the end of the first half, the Graham G-men at home in Bluefield have 3, and the Southampton Indians 0. Stick close. We'll be back to review first half statistics. We'll head down to the field maybe, talk with some folks down there. It is a crowded facility here at Mitchell. Again, the score at halftime, 3-0 the G-men. We'll be back. You're watching the G-men football, a Hague 2 video production on Telescripts Cable Channel 2.
McCann Motors in Tazewell says, push it, pull it, or tow it. Just get it to us, and we guarantee $2,000 trade-in on selected used cars with instant, no-hassle credit approval and immediate delivery. With over 300 cars in stock, we have the one that's right for you. Push it, pull it, or tow it to McCann Motors today. The best keeps getting better. McCann Motors in Tazewell, Virginia.
Are you sure Hardee's is...
Live your lip, man.
Are you sure Hardee's is selling figurines of us?
That's what I heard, man. Just buy hash browns, a ready dessert, and you get one of us for just 99 cents. Don't play with your food.
Jackpot!
You can collect all 4 mounts from Tang for just 99 cents each. There's a new figurine every week, only at Hardee's.
Hey, look, my lips are sealed.
Hi, I'm Eddie Pauley of Regency Real Estate and Auction Company. We built and sold this 2,400 square foot home with 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths located in Sedgwood. We also sold this 1,400 square foot home with 3 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, dining room, in Briarwood Court, Bluefield, West Virginia. We auctioned this 3-bedroom stone home located on 58 acres in Falls Mills, Virginia. For all your real estate and auction needs, contact Regency Real Estate and Auction Company, downtown Bluefield, Virginia.
At the First National Bank of Bluefield, we say, come early, come late, or any time in between. But do come and visit us for any of your banking needs. Our personnel are knowledgeable and courteous. They want to help you. Full-service banking, convenient hours, and convenient locations at the First National Bank of Bluefield.
A wholly owned subsidiary of Pocahontas Bankshares Corporation.
season of good cheer, your friends at Telescripts Cable would like to take just a moment to wish you and your family the very happiest of holiday seasons and introduce you to some members of our family that are very special to us. Greetings from our family to yours. Happy holidays from your friends and neighbors at Telescripts Cable.
Mitchell Stadium, the score, the Graham G-Men 3, and the Indians haven't gotten on the scoreboard, gentlemen. I'm Bob West, along with Pete Sarver to my right, and one Bill Armour. And it's been an interesting game. Time of possession was not really a big key factor. I think the turnovers were a factor, and the fumbles as well. And the G-Men, I was expecting them to be on the scoreboard with a little bit more points than they have right now.
And they had the chance to be, Bob. 2 turnovers early on Southampton's first 2 possessions and got nothing out of it. A third opportunity when they were driving down the field. Fumbled, Brett Surface fumbled, stumbled in the bad turf there in the middle of the field. No points to show for that possession either. And they were really lucky to get the ball downfield and get 3 on the board at the end.
Pete Sarver, you've seen some workout footage of the Southampton club. What do you think they're going to do coming out in this second half to get on the scoreboard?
Bob, if history provides us with any information, they'll still come out and do the same things they did in the first half. They'll go with their low formations to the right and left and run big to both sides, hoping later on to maybe get the ball back outside on some sweep numbers.
Offensively for Graham, they rushed 22 times for 81 yards. They attempted 7 passes, completed 2 for 40 yards. First downs, they had 8. Turnovers, they had 1. They didn't punt it away. Time of possession, 12:59. Penalties, they had 3 penalties, 3 of those for 25 yards, and that got them in trouble last week. They're going to have to control that coming up second half. And the Southampton club, if we can look down their stats, Pete.
Southampton, like you said, is basically staying pretty much on the ground and trying to get a little bit through the air. They've only been moderately successful, and I think that's a real tribute to the Graham G-Man brick wall defense that they're doing such a superb job today.
Coach Littleton Parker, this is his first head coaching job in a state championship game, but he's appeared like 7 times as an assistant. They came away with 4 as the Graham G-Men make their way onto the field, and we get ready to bring you the second half kickoff. And we'll check that out, and we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Graham High School football on the West Virginia Sports Network.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning. Miss, thank you. Here's your Bullwinkle, Miss Change.
We're working on it.
Your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Chevron. We fuel your freedom.
Santa does all his shopping at Goody Coons Pharmacy. Designer fragrances to delight all the men and ladies on his list. Brands such as Red by Giorgio, Shalimar, and Metropolis for Men. Everyone on Santa's list loves Russell Stover candy, and attached to every package, ambassador greeting cards. At Goody Coons Pharmacy, Santa will also find the perfect gift for the busy executive, cross pens. And when he's all through shopping, he can ship his packages from the Package Express Center at Goody Coons Pharmacy, corner of Bland and South Streets, Bluefield.
Folks, at Ira's Diamond World, I've got a big selection of genuine ruby and diamond, sapphire and diamond, and emerald and diamond rings. Don't let the quality and rich look fool you. At Ira's, you save money by cutting out the middleman. From this luscious 1.5 carat total gem weight, now just $1,400, to these smaller beauty for just $39.95. Nobody beats my prices, quality, and selection. Ira's Diamond World, downtown Bluefield and Richlands, and the new Beckley Crossing next to Walmart. Now open every night till 8, Sunday 1 to 5.
Ma'am, I'm really sorry, but we just can't handle it. Everything okay? He's having chest pain. We can handle that. I'll call the ambulance. Quick, get him to UMass Hospital.
hospitals, where no emergency is too minor.
I fell off my bike.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go take care of it right now.
Welcome back to Mitchell Stadium. Second half kickoff is getting ready to go underway. And we will get it up. Rick Brown back deep along with Caffery and surface Rick Brown from his own 15 up across to the 20-yard line, out to the 30-yard line. So the G-Man with 3 points on the scoreboard will go 1st and 10 from the 30.
Good kick coverage by Southampton on that kickoff, Bob. I know they've had a little bit of trouble with that in previous games, and I don't know what we're looking at there, but go with it.
Good shot of trophies, and they are on the G-Men side along. Maybe they know something we don't. There's Coach Carlock, who's got to wonder what's going through his mind. It is 1st and 10. The G-Man. Here we go. Patton on the keeper. He's open. First down. First down. Mike Patton on the keeper. Good play. Good play selection on that one.
Percy Ellsworth, number 12, gets Patton around the ankles. There are 2 men to beat. If Mike Patton gets by Ellsworth and his companion back there, number 40, Derek Gary, Patton may have gone for long yardage.
Again this year, Telescripts Cable Company is helping area needy children through the Toys for Tots campaign. All you need to do is bring a new toy valued at $7.50 or more and receive free installation on any cable service. They will be just short of the first down. We'll call it 2nd and inches as a chain gang. That's the first time we've seen them in this ball game. They'll start the clock up, 11:21 in the first half, and they will get the first down. Eyes, don't fail me now. We still got a half a game to go. So 1st and 10, the G-Men from the 40. Mike Patton this time to give to Brett Surface. Brett will get maybe half a yard or so on that play.
Bob, I think apparently Coach Carlock thinks he sees something because he came out in an unbalanced left formation that time and was running to the string. So I think if we'll continue to watch, we'll see something pop open there for the G-Men.
G-Men, as always, have brought out a great crowd to Mitchell Stadium, as you saw right there. We'll go 2nd and 10 from the 40. Mike Patton up under center. That's Eric Robinson at center. This time the give. Running all the way out of the left side. He'll be short of the first down. And that is Eddie Caffery. And Eddie and Brett are coming in place of Tony Palmer. Tony broke his ankle last week. John Grubbs also out with a broken leg in the practice after the win after Radford.
Eddie Caffery's got to be a good story for Graham. He's a senior. He hasn't played that much on offense. And in a state championship game, being asked to contribute real heavily right now.
Again, up on the line, Workman, Patton, and Hoops on the right side. A. Caldwell, Roland Pascasio, and Ryan King. Mike Patton, Marcus Latimer, and Rick Brown. Brett Service and Eddie Caffery coming in, trading off. Motion on the left side. They'll blow the whistle dead. And that'll be motion on number 51. And we'll wait for the official call on this one, though. Wally Falk, the tackle, moving a little bit offside on that one.
Bob, I think you can see what we're talking about. When Graham comes unbalanced left, apparently Southampton is not shifting to that side. So Graham really has a mismatch over here on this offensive side. And I think Coach Carlock's probably going to stick with that until Southampton changes.
Coach Carlock's certainly familiar, too, with the unbalanced attack, having run it for years and years and years. And we're a veteran coach in this area.
We're going to talk about Coach Carlock. This gentleman has been around a long time and a great head coach. Here we go. Patton to Rick Brown. Brown around the right side. He stopped behind the line, and we'll credit that tackle to number 77, the big guy, Riddick Parker, All-State, 255, 6'5", senior.
Southampton made a really good defensive play that time. Graham went unbalanced right, and Southampton was up to the challenge that time.
All right, it is 2nd and 6 on the 45-yard line. We'll let Bill call this play from scrimmage.
Mike Patton under center. Unbalanced to the right. The give up the middle to Latimer. He breaks through 2 tackles. And he gets down to the 35-yard line. Another first down for the G-men. Good leg job by Latimer that time, Bob.
All right, that'll be a first down. 9:40 in the second quarter to go. And the G-men again on top, 3-0. Southampton, which has been in this situation many times, and so has Coach Littleton Parker. First as a head coach, so he knows championship experience. Here's Patton, this time to give. They'll give it to Rick Brown. Check that. That is Eddie Caffery. Eddie is down to the 20-yard line, across 20, down to about the 17-yard line, and that is a first down.
Bob, that's a perfect example of how Graham's game plan is playing into effect now. Came back with a good cross-button misdirection to play after running at the strength of the Southampton tackles early. Just a super coaching job, and that was a great executed play.
Southampton has called a timeout, the first in this second half. Again, the score 3-0. The G-men on top as Coach Carlock is on the field talking with Rick Brown, I think that is. Or we'll check that. I think it's Eddie Caffery. We'll take a break. You're watching Graham G-Men High School Football, a Hague 2 video production on Telescripts Cable Channel 2.
Are you sure Hardee's is...
Give your lip, man.
Are you sure Hardee's is selling figurines of us?
That's what I heard, man.
Just Ryan King out wide right. Up the middle. And Patton on the handoff. Straight up the middle. And a good run for that one.
Marcus Latimer, tremendous leg drive again. He's short and squat, but what a lower body on him. He had a great run in the last regular season game, about 50 yards against Radford for a touchdown.
Marcus Latimer, 205, 5'10". He's a junior. He'll be back next year. And the G-men are glad of that. Second and 1. This time, Latimer again on the carry. And I think they'll be short of first down once again. That they will. So Southampton defense coming on here in these last two plays.
Number 51, Wally Falk for Southampton, has been close to being offsides on a half a dozen plays already today. Was offside here 3 or 4 plays ago. He's leaning forward, almost falling forward at the snap, and the play before, Latimer just went right by him in the hole where he had just vacated. He's really going down into a 4-point stance, and when he gets there, he has no mobility either left or right, and they can run right by him.
Bill, I think we can attribute that as well to the somewhat sloppy conditions. From up here and from this shot right here, it doesn't look bad, but it is a bit moist, and this field has just been worked and worked to death over this past year. But a great place for football, and I will commend the Mitchell Stadium folks for getting the field in such a good condition as it has been. The G-men will be short of the first down, so that'll bring up a third, about a half yard, as you get a good sideline shot there, looking right down the line of scrimmage. If only we could get the ref to scoot over a little bit, we could have watched that from the ground level. We'll go up top again. 3rd and 1. There's Patton on the keeper again. And he got it. Mike Patton on the keeper. If you're going to give an MVP award, it's going to go to Mike Patton, Chris Patton. These gentlemen have just been outstanding. Again, both seniors. Both of these guys are going to go on to bigger and better things, and we wish them a lot of luck, as well as we wish all the seniors.
Bob, Chris Patton runs that keeper as effectively as any high school quarterback I've ever seen.
Okay, so 1st and goal, the G-men again. Patton on the key. No, Patton this time gives off to Rick Brown. Rick will get down to about the 5-yard line, and Caffery. Rick Brown, I'm thinking Rick Brown because Rick put a tremendous hit on one of the Southampton defenders trying to clear out some blocking.
This is the 3rd time in the game that Graham's been inside the 10-yard line. Let's hope that their 3rd entry into that area is a little better than the first 2 where they got in, were penalized, fumbled, and came away with no points either time.
Okay, the G-men fans on their feet. Patton up under center, Eric Robinson. Patton will keep it. Option play out to the right. Rick Brown down to the 4, 3, 2, and let's see. Is he in there? No. He's going to be short by a couple of inches as Tony Palmer stands up on the sideline. got out of his little golf cart down here, and Tony's cheering him on.
Bob, again, a perfect example of senior leadership from Mike Patton, a perfectly executed option play, and this is where Graham's finesse and execution is really paying off. And this is a great time to point out what a fantastic job the offensive line is doing on this series.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rick Brown come out as well as Eddie Caffrey. And they'll go with the big guys in the backfield to do some blocking for Marcus Latimer. Here we go. 3rd and 1. Touchdown, G-Men! Good play. Marcus Latimer on a 1-yard carry. And the G-Men put 6 more on the scoreboard. And that fires up the crowd here at Mitchell Stadium.
That's the 3rd time in this game that they've gone with that special short yardage setup with Brian Denham and Tony Young in the backfield in front of me, Latimer or Rick Brown as a power back. Neither time before that it worked out well, but that time it worked to perfection.
I tell you what, I hate to be premature, but I guess it's just wishful thinking. If these G-Men win this championship, this place is going to explode. These fans are tremendous fans down here, and they deserve it as well as the G-Men do. Don't know what happened on that.
Kick was low and blocked by number 50, Reginald Vincent for Southampton, so the score is 9-0.
All right, the G-Men drive it down the field. They'll go on a 1-yard carry by Marcus Latimer, Patton to Latimer. They'll put 6 more on the scoreboard, and the G-Men lead 9-0. We'll be back. You're watching the G-Men High School Football Championship game on the West Virginia Sports Network.
No matter how busy your day, it's easier to do your banking at the First National Bank of Bluefield. Because
about the G-Men coming out, and 4 minutes and 52 seconds on 13 plays, 70 yards. Patton to Latimer on the score. The G-Men up on top 9-0. Southampton's got to be wondering, hey, what is going on? Home field advantage, a big key here. Back deep is number 40. They'll kick it into the end zone. Derek Gray will have no opportunity to run that one out, so they'll go from the 20. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 situation. Again, great weather this afternoon for this championship game, right around 52 or 53 degrees, sunshine, and a packed house at Mitchell Stadium as you get a good shot of the band there.
Gentlemen, you know the momentum factor that we were worried about for the G-Men right before the halftime? I think that the worries are over. If Graham defense comes out and does a great job this series, I really think the momentum is swinging strongly and will continue for the rest of the game.
Okay, so the Indians will take over 1st and 20 there. Looks like a blitz again. No gain, maybe a gain of 1. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9 situation. In on the stop, number 62, Brian Denham.
And Caffrey in there as well, Bob. Both of them with a real solid lick before he could get up ahead of steam.
You just watch it. You watch the G-Men on defense. They'll look over to the crowd. They'll raise their hands up, and they'll get the crowd going. Graham G-Men doing an outstanding job. Fumble on the play. Fumbled. Oh! And G-Men recover.
Number 88, David Lawson for Graham. There was, once again, the quarterback, Sean Battle, stepped away from center. There were red jerseys all around him. He just coughed the football up, laid it on the ground, and we were talking about this at halftime. Right now, Southampton looks like a weary and beaten team. That may change between now and the end of the game, but they really look tired at this point.
David Lawson, this ball's for you, partner. Good job. So the G-Man will take over on the 17-yard line. Coach Carlock showing no emotion on that particular drive, but hey, he's got to be feeling pretty good. Patton this time to Rick. Check that. That'll be Eddie Caffrey again. I'm getting my 3s and 2s mixed up on this.
George Benz, number 67, wrapped him up for probably a loss of a yard or 2 on that.
Boy, and you said it best, Pete. Momentum. Momentum has really shifted to the G-Men side, and they are fired up.
Well, it looks like it certainly has, and the Graham G-Men defense has certainly proved that they're worthy of every credit they've received this season.
Absolutely.
Time and again, they're putting the G-Men in great field position.
Absolutely. 2nd and 11 on the 17. 5:41 left in the 3rd quarter. Patton this time. He'll give to Latimer. Latimer will get about 2 on the drive. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 8 or 9.
You know, it may be a little early to put the death knell on Southampton. They've been in 7 state championship games in AA since the AA division started in 1970, won 4 of them. So they're certainly experienced at playing at this level of state playoff system. Graham, an experienced team from a senior standpoint, though, and right now Graham's moving in for another score.
Good point. Good point. 3rd and 8 on the 15. Mike Patton this time will keep it himself on the option. Gets nowhere, and he's stuck behind the line. And we'll get a tackle to number 42. That'll be Marcus Harris. Marcus 6'1", 150. You know, we talk about the extremes for Southampton Club. They've got guys in there at 6'5", 278. There again, they've got guys in there at 6'2", 150.
50 players on their roster, 10 over 190, but a lot of players down the 160, 170-pound range.
Okay, Rick Brown back to attempt the field goal. This will be about a 32-yard field goal, and it'll be way short. They'll come up short on that play, but the G-men are on top, 9-0. As the Indians will come out and take over on offense. There's a good shot of Coach Carlock, who's been in this business, what, around 25 years. What a...
Absolutely, he has had a phenomenal career as a coach, and what a leader of young men he truly is. There couldn't be a finer coach anywhere around when it comes to coaching and being with young men.
Only sad news is that Tony Palmer and John Grubbs aren't able to be on the playing field for this game. There's the pitch out to the big guy around the left side. That's his biggest drive in the game. Kenneth Ford gets the first down, and just as we say, momentum, big Kenneth Ford, the 6'4", 278-pound senior, drives for a first down.
We just checked with our statistician, Randy Belt, right before that pitch and run, and Ford had been held only 32 yards rushing up until that play. He got 14 on that play alone.
And this is a guy who's had over 1,200 yards in less than 6 games and 15 touchdowns. So the defense of the G-men are shutting down the offense. There they'll give it to him once again. Kenneth Ford, again, will get about 6 yards to 5 yards on the carry. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5.
Okay, Southampton is paying a real tribute to the G-men defense right now because they've gone into an entirely new formation that they have not shown for the past several games. I don't think these are determinant as being panicky, but they're certainly looking for another way to get some yardage.
Well, if you're Coach Parker, you realize you got 3:40 in this quarter, and you got a lot more time in the 4th quarter. If you can keep it on the ground, continue to get first downs in like 3 drives or so, and move the ball, I think they're going to stick to that type of a delivery. This time, a little mix-up in the backfield. The intended carrier is number 20. He's a gentleman we have not seen in the game. That'll be Barrett Porter.
The mix-up was caused because Battle turned around to make the exchange and handoff, and Roland Pascasio, number 60 for Graham, was standing in the backfield. There were 3 or 4 red jerseys around the ball carriers for Southampton, and once again, Graham's penetration early on in the first surge there was outstanding. He had 3 or 4 people standing in the backfield when the exchange was made.
I think Pascasio thought he was a running back, and he was going to try to get in there and grab the ball himself. 3rd and 7 for the Indians, I should say. They'll pitch back to Ford again. Ford getting up to about the 40-yard line, way short of the first down. That'll bring up a 4th down in a punting situation.
Bob, it appears as though Graham is going to need to make an adjustment out of that formation because on that quick pitch out there to Kenneth Ford, he's allowing him to get up a little bit ahead of steam there and be able to turn the corner. We have not seen that yet today.
All right, 4th down for the Indians. They'll punt, but we could see anything. We could see a fake punt here. We've seen it in other games that the West Virginia Sports Network has covered for you. They'll be content to put it up in the air. Spiraling punt. Good punt. Taken down at the 20, out across midfield, down to the 50-yard line, but there's a flag on the play.
And I think they're going to call a clip, and they may be calling it on Eddie Caffrey, and I'll tell you what, I'd like to see the replay on it because he threw a terrific block, and it looked like he had his head around in front of the man he put out for Southampton.
Let's go down to the field, and we'll check with the ref on this particular play, this penalty. See, talking about it. Here it is. You're absolutely right. It is a clip against Caffrey, and I have to disagree with that play as well. I think it was just a good, decent block.
It was a good, crisp block. He got his helmet around in front of the man, and it's unfortunate because it was a terrific run back by Surface after he finally got a grip on the ball.
All righty. So they'll back it up 15 yards from the point of the penalty. That'll lay it down to the 25-yard line. There's the call, clipping again on the G-men. 2:18 in the third quarter. The G-men on top 9-0, 1st and 10. You get a shot of the cheerleaders on the sideline here at Mitchell Stadium. They're in the shade. When we first started out, they had some sunshine, but now they're in the shade. G-men fans again up on their feet. They'll split Brian Hoops wide out to the left. Here we go. This time to Rick Brown around the right side. He had some running room, had a good block. He'll be taken down to the line of scrimmage, so there's no gain on that play. Thought he was going to be able to break that one open, but couldn't get anywhere.
It was a good hole, but he stumbled over Eddie Caldwell, his guard, number 55, who'd thrown a block and was on the ground.
Bob, there'd be no better time than right now for the Graham offensive line to take control of this game and eat up some time on the clock, and I think we might look forward to them doing that out of their wishbone offense.
There's some happy G-men fans right there signaling that they are number one. So here we go, 2nd and 9. Patton barking signals up under center, Eric Robinson. This time to give. Patton on the keeper, nowhere to go, and Patton will be stuck behind the line for a loss. He tried to scramble out of there and get away.
He didn't fool number 44, Aaron Parker, for the Indians, who was out there waiting on him as soon as he turned the corner and looked up.
That is a play that's been very successful for Graham all year long, and it was really a defensive play by the Southampton defender.
Coach Parker over on the sidelines, walking up and down the sidelines, trying to think, geez, we've got to get something going here. We've got to get control of that ball. 3rd and 10 for the G-men. Patton again on the option play. Options out to number 20 for Eddie Caffrey, and I think that was kind of a forward lateral.
And it's a good thing because Darren Parker jumped on it for the Indians, number 15, and it would have been Southampton's ball inside the 25-yard line.
You get a shot from the G-men crowd, who are kind of quiet at this particular moment with a 4th and 10. And I tell you, once the crowd does get going, that helps the G-men. You can't say enough about this G-men crowd here at Mitchell Stadium. 4th down situation. Rick Brown will be back to kick it. Back deep for the Southampton club. And we'll check on that for you. I can't see any numbers. That is Derek Gray back deep. We got a timeout on the field. Timeout, Southampton. I think they had too many players on the field. I think they've got like 12 players on the field. They'll call a timeout. We'll take timeout and figure it out. We'll be back. You're watching a Head to Video production on Telescrip's Cable Channel 2.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning, Miss, thank you. Here's your Bullwinkle, Miss Change.
We're working on it.
Your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Chevron. We fuel your freedom.
Santa does all his shopping at Goody Coons Pharmacy. Designer fragrances to delight all the men and ladies on his list. Brands such as Red by Giorgio, Shalimar, and Metropolis for men. Everyone on Santa's list loves Russell Stover candy, and attached to every package, ambassador greeting cards. At Goody Coons Pharmacy, Santa will also find the perfect gift for the busy executive, cross pens. And when he's all through shopping, he can ship his packages from the Package Express Center at Goody Coons Pharmacy, corner of Bland and South Streets, Bluefield.
Okay, Rick Brown will punt the ball away, back deep. Gray, number 40, and this boy is fast, as well as Warren, number 35. They'll kick from their 15-yard line. Rick Brown, good kick, good punt, backing him way up. It'll take an Indian bounce, though, and they'll down it at 38-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for Indians. Good shot.
37 yards on the punt, no return. That's a good net yardage on the punt team for Graham.
And we mentioned it at the beginning of the game. For the G-men to have a good game, Rick Brown's got to have a good foot and good leg, both offensively on running the ball and kicking the ball.
Rick Brown has really been a versatile performer for Graham all year long, especially in the kicking department.
Southampton, 23 seconds left in the third quarter. They're looking to pass out of the I formation. They've got 3 split. Battle back to pass. He's getting pressured. He'll run it, but get nowhere, and he'll be stuck for a loss. And they'll take it down. He has lost 2 on the play, and we'll credit the tackle to Eddie Caldwell, number 55, in on the stop.
There's very good secondary coverage by Ryan King out there on the far right side. Just a great job on his part.
So, as we talked about, you'll see the Graham G-Men defense. They'll wave their arms, and that'll be to get the fans up. That'll be the end of the third quarter. The score of the G-Men 9, the Indians 0. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Thousands of people each year seek out information on a variety of topics, even where to find a doctor.
I found my doctor because he was my mother's doctor, my grandmother's doctor, my Aunt Sophie's doctor.
Well, I found my doc when I had to get that physical back in high school.
I found my doctor in the yellow pages, like everything else.
And some fall a little short of what they were looking for. Now you can use a doctor for all the right reasons. Call Humana Hospital's Physician Information Service. We'll bring you face-to-face with a qualified physician.
Folks at Ira's Diamond World, diamond pendants are on sale now for the holidays starting at just $39.
Coach Carlock is really a leader, and I look for him to show a lot of character and class here in the fourth quarter.
He has, and Coach Carlock and the entire staff of the G-Men, just an excellent job this year. You know, we talked about this at pregame. The G-Men written up in USA Today, that just had to blow the kids' minds. They had not been scored upon the entire season until like the second to the last game, I think it was. Again, battle back to pass. He airs one out long, but too far. Warren, the intended receiver, and in on the play to break that one up. Actually, with good coverage, we should say, is Mike Patton.
Graham's defense registered 8 consecutive shutouts to open the season. Were scored on twice due to turnovers early.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Early in the only loss of the season they had to Salem, at Salem, 23-6. So they put together a great string of defensive efforts before that game at Salem.
Got a good shot of the first and second place trophies as they rest on the G-Men side of the field. Wishful thinking. Again, battle back to pass. Nobody. Intended receiver. Yeah, that's what I thought. The intended receiver was number 10. That is Chris Everett, and there's a flag on the play, and I think we're going to have defensive pass interference. We'll have to watch it, though.
Coach Carlock not happy about that at all, too. David Lawson, the Graham player, whistle for infraction. Coach Carlock was a good 5 yards out on the field. Had a discussion with the line judge about that particular call.
That he is.
He's still debating it.
So that will be defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Actually, we'll see here. Now, that'll be a first down. Automatic first down for the Indians. Turnovers and penalties. You don't want to get involved in too many of those when you got a 9-0 lead. Here go the Indians. 1st and 10 on the 47. Battle pitching it back to Kenneth Ford, and the play is whistled dead. We're going to have some motion.
Bob, that pass interference call was a great break for Southampton, and I noticed that they're coming out lined up in the new formation, so look for the pitch to go to Kenneth Ford to the side.
Encroachment against the G-Men, and that is the first time I've been able to hear the Southampton fans from all the way across the field.
And you know, while Graham has dominated play, I would say through 3 quarters plus, up to this point, a touchdown and a 2-point extra point would make this a tight ball game and real interesting with a lot of time left to play.
That shot there shows you just how the wind is whipping around Mitchell Stadium. Here we go. Good run by number 20 for Southampton. That is a new gentleman in on that play. And the ball carrier, Barrett Porter. So it is first down.
And Mike Patton came up and made a really nice tackle from the defensive secondary position on that play.
So spot the ball just shy of the 40-yard line. The Indians coming to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10. 10:54 in this state championship contest. AA Division III. There, the blitz is on again. This time to the big guy. Breaks up and 11-yard gain down to a first down and out across the 30-yard line down to the 29.
Okay, Bob, that's one time when Graham's blitzing, stunning defense really hurt them. Big Kenneth Ford got to the outside on him, and it really caused him some problems. So Graham might have to stay back on those linebackers a little bit.
So the Indians moving the ball. Southampton gang is up on their feet. This time the give will go straight up the middle once again, and this time the give to number 21 for the Indians. Check that, number 20 for the Indians. And that'll be Porter once again.
And Graham's really going to have to bow their backs here at this point. This is a good sustained drive by the Indians. There's still plenty of time left on the clock. This game is still in doubt.
You'd wonder why that big burst of applause from the G-Man side. I'll hold that thought. 2nd and 5. Battle to handoff this time to number 32. That is Jerome Hollerman. He'll get maybe one, and that'll be about it. Tony Palmer and John Cubs are running around in a golf cart witnessing this game, and they just went from one end of the field to the other, raising their hands and getting the fans into the game. And you watch, when John puts his hands up, the crowd really goes crazy.
Real critical call here for Southampton, Bob. 3rd and 4, and they need to keep this drive alive.
23-yard. Again, the blitz is on. Fumble! Fumble on the play. Great play by number 65 for the G-men. Oh, boy. Chris Patton, what can you say about this young man? Good job. He's going to take that ball home with him. As well, he deserves it. Chris Patton getting a good hug from Coach Carlock and the staff. Oh, boy.
Last week when the game was tight with Rustburg, Graham had Rustburg pushed deep back in their territory. They came out on 1st down and tried to pass. Patton intercepted it and walked into the end zone, got a game ball for that, and I guarantee you he'll take that one home there. Brilliant defensive play.
Unfortunately, he gave it to one of the coaches. They threw it back out on the field. Chris wanted to keep it, but they didn't keep the ball. 1st and 10, G-Man. Around the right side, and oh, what a stick. What a stick put on Eddie Caffery. That was a helmet to right in the back. Man, he's down on the field, and I know that hurt. Oh, man. Riddick Parker sticking his head right in the numerals of Eddie Caffery.
And there's an injured Graham player on the field. It's Ryan King, I think, number 2. No, he's up.
Ryan King limping off the field on his own, though.
Maybe a cramp or a sprained ankle.
There's a young man that you don't want to lose in case you get in a situation where you got a lot of passing going on.
A quick comment on that fumble recovery by All-Stater Chris Patton. Terrific coaching once again, folks, because Graham was slanting just to the right places on those defenses.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. 2nd and 9 on the 34 for the G-Man. Out of the wishbone. The give to Caffery. Caffery around the left side for a couple.
And you notice he's carrying the ball with both hands now. It's that time of the game where all the backs will probably be instructed by Coach Carlock and his staff to hold that ball with both hands and maybe sacrifice a yard or 2 extra on the end of their run if they have to, just to hold the football.
Darren Parker, the linebacker, in on the stop. 165, 6'2" senior. And you'll see Rick Brown throws his arms up, and there they go. So a 3rd and 5 on the 37 for the G-Men. 8:13, the clock ticking away. Again, out of the wishbone, Pete, as you said before, they'll be content to keep it on the ground and not... Oh, well, as soon as I say that, Mike Patton airs one out. Way downfield, open was Ryan King. Ryan had about a half a yard on the defensive player, the defender.
Gary, that defender, and we've talked about him earlier in the game. Great speed, and once the ball was in the air, Gary was able to get in position to at least annoy King enough where he couldn't make the stretch or the dive and make the play.
We've seen this all year with the G-Man. It's not a matter of cockiness, I don't think, to air it out when you got a 9-0 lead. I think it's just being careful. You want to rack up some points because you just don't know what this Southampton team can do. And with a coach who has been in 7 state championships, 1 as a head coach. Rick Brown to kick. Back deep will be Gray, number 40. As we've mentioned, this kid is quick. If he can break one open, what a wobbly kick that one is, down to about the 30. It'll take an Indian roll down to the 25, and the G-Men crowd wanting a unsportsmanlike call on Warren, but they're not going to get it. Warren throwing a block. So with a 9-0 score, the G-men on top. We'll take a break. You're watching G-men High School.
Yeah, they just performed great.
2nd and 18. Again, battle back to pass. He'll put it up in the air. It's going to be picked off. Ryan King picks it off at the 40. Down to the 40-yard line. Out across to the 38-yard line. Ryan King, this ball's for you. Flags on the play. That'll be against Southampton. Southampton, the Indians are getting just a little bit upset. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, boy. As Dandy Don said, momentum. Ryan King, good job.
Dandy Don also said, turn out the lights, the party's over, and one more score for Graham, and they may be able to start singing that over here on this side of the stands.
You know, I was going to say that, but I didn't. Sean Battle just aired that one out. You know, Sean is a junior, and he was being pressured. He should not have passed that ball. Put it up. Nobody down there for him. Ryan King comes up. Great catch. Ryan had to leap up in the air like he was dunking that football. And a pigskin arrest on the 24, 6:28. G-men in control. Mike Patton again, back to pass, option play. He'll keep it himself. Fumble, no. Fumble that time, but no. Ref will mark it down. Ref calls the play dead. I tell you what, the Indians are upset. There it is. I'll tell you what happened right there. Number 15, that is Darren Parker, who picked up what he thought was a fumbled ball, intended to run the ball, realized the ball was dead, kicked the ball down the field, and that'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct. There you have it against the Indians. I tell you what, it is unraveling very quickly here at Mitchell Stadium for the Indians. And Coach Little and Parker. Coach Parker's got to get control of the club right now. Tell him to slow down.
Bob, they're still in the ball game, down 9-0, and two really questionable penalties there from their sidelines. Not questionable necessarily on the call, but you just don't need sportsmanlike penalties when you're still in a ball game for a state championship with 6 minutes to play.
Definitely still in this ball game, but the G-men are within striking distance again. 1st and 10 on the 12. Patton up under center. This time to give the Latimer around the right side. Oh, he almost broke it down to the 40-yard line, and in on the stop is number 46 for the Southampton ball club.
That was Derek Gary, number 40. His jersey number's been almost obliterated by the mud, but if he doesn't hit him around the knees, Latimer takes that all the way in.
Latimer, after the stop, sat down there on the ground and said, "No, I was just that close." 2nd and 4, the Graham G-men in scoring position once again. They'll give it this time to Latimer once more. Latimer down to about the 1-yard line.
Again, just another great coaching call from the sidelines. Graham comes power to that side, and Southampton's just not shifting over to cover that, and that's just super scouting and great coaching.
They're going to be short by about 4 inches on this play.
Meanwhile, the clock down to 5 minutes, down under 5 minutes. Another score here may put the nail in the coffin.
Here we go, 1st and goal. Patton under center. Uh-oh. Had some motion in the backfield. That's what it was. We had a miscommunication on the snap count. That'll back him up 5. That'll bring up a 1st and goal on the 7-yard line.
Bob, I think correct you there for a second. I think it was the same thing we were talking about earlier. Number 51, Wally Falk, leaning forward, and he's been falling down just as the snap has been delivered. And I think he was a little too soon there. He may be getting tired through the knees.
Okay, so 1st and 1. 1st and goal for the G-men. Mike Patton on the quarterback keeper. Here we go. Keep it. This time they'll give it to Latimer. Oh, Marcus Latimer one more time. Doing the shuffle in the end zone. Put 6 more on the board. You can write home. That's going to do it. Turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
G-men are going to wrap up a state championship. Oh, this is great. This is exciting. These kids have deserved this. They've worked hard.
Might be a good opportunity to also mention that they did win one other state championship back in 1962 under legendary coach Burhead Bradley, but that game was won when another team had to forfeit some games because of illegal players.
27 years between state championships. And the extra point is up and good. Back snap to Mike Patton, but he controlled it. So the Graham G-men are up on top, 16-0 from Mitchell Stadium. Stick close. We'll be back with the final 4 minutes of play. You're watching the G-men win a state championship on the West Virginia Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Eddie Pauley of Regency Real Estate and Auction Company. We built and sold this 2,400 square foot home.
There, 30 left in the fourth quarter, 16-0 G-men. Here's Rick Brown to kick it off back deep is Warren. Warren will take it at his own 4-yard line. Out across the 10, up to the 15. Out across the 15, still going. And he'll get down to about the 20-yard line.
Bob, that last series was just a perfect example of character and poise and discipline as the Graham G-men displayed what they've been coached and taught all year long, and I'm just real proud of them.
Oh, absolutely. Our hats off to Coach Carlock and the entire staff for the Graham G-men. Gary Williams, Doug Myers, Rick Myers, Sam McKinney, Tim Woodward, John O'Neill, Jeff Sizemore. What an outstanding job this year. 4-9, ticking away on the Southampton Ball Club. Back to pass in the middle. He's got a man open. Down to about the 35-yard line. That 34-yard line, short of the first down. To bring up 2nd and 2.
I'll tell you, as time ticks down toward Coach Carlock's first championship, he's spent a lot of years in coaching in this area and turned out a lot of good, fine young men. 2 of them are sitting up here in this booth today. And there's going to be a lot of emotion around the area in the coming week. A lot of people coming to thank him and calling to thank him for being a part of their lives. And there's a lot of guys on the sidelines today that are never going to forget this moment.
Again, battle back to pass, screen pass. Intended receiver was number 7. That is Antoine Mason, the 5'11", 160-pound junior. We want to appreciate and thank our sponsors, McCann Motors, 4-Way in Tazewell, Hardee's, College Avenue Chevron, your full-service station, and thank you to Grant Supermarkets for providing our production van all season long. 2 gentlemen who, I guarantee they wish they could be running around on the field, is John Grubbs and Tony Palmer. These 2 guys have been just outstanding. They're getting hugs on the sideline as you see them right there. They give their eye teeth to be running around that field right now. There's a happy young man right there as well. Here's the pass down the middle. Picked up Rick Brown. Rick from his 35. Oh, boy. Rick Brown.
And I'm going to tell you something, Bob. They're playing with a lot of pride right now, too, because now that looks like they have their state championship in hand, they want to register another shutout. It'll be their 9th shutout of the season. I guarantee they don't want to give up a cheap touchdown at this point. They want to go out just the way they came in this season.
You know, at one point in the regular season, they had outscored their opponents something like 270 some odd to 0. I know that's not the exact number. We got a flag on the play as the Virginia High School Championship AA Division 2, check that, 3.
Randy Bell tells me that that's the 5th possession of the half for Southampton, 4 of which ended in turnovers. So not very effective in the second half on offense. The Indians have really beaten themselves in the second half.
Long ride home for the Southampton Indians, who have come into this game with an 11-1 record. I do believe the G-men will go once again from the 40-yard line. Again, Mike Patton will stay in center. They'll keep the regular guys in the back of McCaffrey. This time to Latimer. Latimer will get the 1 on the carry. Guys, if you had to pick the most valuable player, it'd have to be a couple or 3 guys. You'd have to look at Mike Patton, Chris Patton, Ryan King, who's picked off 1 or at least 2, I think he's had picked off. We'll check the stats on that. Maybe even 4. Marcus Latimer. You know, all these guys just doing an excellent job in this ballgame.
I think Coach Carlock over the years has always made a big point of encouraging team effort. And it would really be hard to pick an individual at this point. Graham's season all year long, especially defensively, has been one of a team effort, and it's certainly been that way again today.
2 minutes left in this contest. Patton. Oh, Ryan King, the intended receiver. Ryan, I think, was going to go a little bit further, and Patton hit him in the back of the head. But, hey, you got to stay state championship wrapped up, that's all right.
I think Bill made an excellent point a moment ago referring to Coach Carlock, and obviously both Mike Patton and Chris Patton have been standouts today along with numerous others, but I think the real tribute has to go to Coach Glenn Carlock for just a fantastic job for the Graham G men, not only this year, but each and every year.
Mike Patton, Ryan King, Brian Hoops, Eddie Caffery, Tony Palmer, Rick Brown, check that, John Grubb, Lance Barber, Eddie Caldwell, Chris Patton. You guys have worked hard. Tony Young, Eric Robinson. These guys are seniors. They're not going to be coming back, but in their senior year, they'll have a state championship.
Graham's going to be the first team in Tazewell County history to win 13 games in the season. And they're going to become the 14th different school to win a AA state championship. Southampton, with 4 of them, more than any other team since the AA classification was started in 1970. But Graham will be the 14th different school to claim a AA state championship. And of course, they went, Coach Carlock's first year at Graham, they lost in the playoffs to Blacksburg, a team that had Sidney Snell, who went on to greatness at Virginia Tech. In 1981, they had a 12-game win streak snapped by Martinsville in the semifinals. So this is going to be especially sweet because they've been there a couple of times before and haven't broken through.
Bill Armour, we appreciate you being up in the booth with us today. Bill came up from Winston-Salem to view this game. It's been a good game for the G-men. Bill's going to run down to the field, and hopefully we'll get Coach Carlock to stop by and say a few words. I tell you what, the G-men club just sound all the way around. 4th and 1. This time around to the left side, Eddie Caffrey will get the first down. Eddie Caffrey will get the first down with 1:33 to tick away. Pete Sarver up in the booth with me. Pete, this Graham G-men club just all the way around. Special teams, defense, offense, kicking, punting, everything. This club is just a sound club all the way around.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. They've been that way all season. It all started with coaching and the effort of the players, and they've just done a fantastic job all season long in every aspect of the game. And these are truly class young men, and a real tribute to them.
What is Coach Carlock and all the rest of the guys feeling right now? Are they going to remember this last minute and a half as they call plays?
Total elation. As a matter of fact, I heard him say just the other day how much he's going to miss this once the clock finally ticks down to 000, because that's just what kind of gentleman he is.
Well, I tell you what, the Graham G-men fans up on their feet. They're making their way down to the field right now. Some of them are. The band's getting ready to run out on the field. I tell you what, Mitch Stadium will flat explode when this game is over. 106, the G-men will take a timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well. The G-men on top 16-0. We'll be back. You're watching a Hague 2 video production on Telescripts Cable Channel 2.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning. Miss, thank you. Here's your Bullwinkle, Miss Change.
We're working on it.
Your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Chevron. We fuel your freedom.
Welcome back to an ecstatic Mitchell Stadium. The G-men are going to run the clock out. Actually, they're going to punt the ball away. I'm looking at the offensive line formation. They're going to try to get some offsides. Bad snap. And Rick Brown has done a tremendous job at recovering bad snaps over the last few games. Oh! Ow, 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 ow. You know, this kid here, Warren, number 40. I was told before the game this gentleman is fast and he can break them open. But the special teams of the G-men have shut him down.
Just terrific kick coverage. You couldn't ask any more of a coverage team than what they have been doing all day.
Again, thanks to our fine sponsors, Goody Coons Pharmacy, where Jerry and the staff can fill all your prescription needs. Regency Realty, Irish Diamond World, we'll make it, and we'll stand behind it. First National Bank of Bluefield with 4 convenient locations. Humana St. Luke's, College Avenue Chevron. Battle back to put it up. Up in the air, Ryan King one more time. Oh! Ryan King on his 3rd interception, I do believe. I'll check that. 2 that I know of. I think he's had about 3 of them. 2. Oh. Again, I our sponsors, College Avenue Chevron, your full-service Chevron station. Hardee's, McCann Motors. Our producer-director, Mark Haig. What a great job, Mark, you've done all season long. Camera operators, Tom Steiner, Mark Ford, Charles Briscoe. Production assistants, Scott Smith and Jeff Sparks. And just a great all-around effort all year long. If you've enjoyed our coverage, I would appreciate you calling Mark Haig at 325-8935. 325-8935. Tell Mark, and hopefully we'll be back next year to bring you exciting play-by-play. These kids are happy.
Happy's not the word for it, and I think this is a very appropriate time to say we have an injury on the field.
We do have an injury in the field. It's not a player. We're going to have to see that for you, I think. It's right over here in front of us, and I can't see. There's a lot of people crowded around there. We'll bring you an update on that as well. 37 seconds to tick away. There you got a shot of the injured person. I don't believe it's a player.
As I began to say a moment ago, Bob, I think this is a perfect time to say to Coach Carlock and the G-Men, congratulations on a fantastic season in the state championship.
All right, 1st and 15. And Patton, actually a new quarterback in that. Billy Dudley. Billy will down the play. 28 seconds left to go. The Graham G-Men will go 13-1 on the season. An outstanding season for the G-Men. 16 seconds counting down to wrap up the AA Division III state championship. We'll count it down. 5, 4, and I'll let the pictures talk to you. Here's Coach Carlock.
Hoisted up by his players. What an incredible sight.
Coach Carlock got a little Gatorade thrown on it. What an outstanding coach. Great team. The G-Men go 13-1 on the season. They win the AA Division III state championship. We'll let you watch. We can get a shot of the goalpost. They're trying to tear them down. They're trying to tear down the goalposts. Here comes the police. They're going to come in there and take care of that. Coach Carlock went out to midfield to shake hands and congratulate Coach Lilton Parker. Coach Parker's first visit to a state championship as head coach, his 7th overall. They're exchanging congratulations on the field. Tony Palmer, I know, buddy, you wish you could be out there on the field with your friends. John Grubbs. And again, the final. As the Graham G-Men, again, go 13-1 on the season, wrap up the Virginia AA Division III championship. 16-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning. Miss, thank you. Here's your Bullwinkle, Miss Change.
We're working on it.
Your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Chevron. We fuel your freedom.
Santa does all his shopping at Goody Coons Pharmacy. Designer fragrances to delight all the men and ladies on his list. Brands such as Red by Giorgio, Shalimar, and Metropolis for Men. Everyone on Santa's list loves Russell Stover candy, and attached to every package, ambassador greeting cards. At Goody Coons Pharmacy, Santa will also find the perfect gift for the busy executive, Cross Pens. And when he's all through shopping, he can ship his packages from the Package Express Center at Goody Coons Pharmacy, corner of Bland and South Streets, Bluefield.
Ma'am, I'm really sorry, but we just can't handle him. Everything okay? He's having chest pain.
I'll call the ambulance.
Quit Get him to Humana Hospital.
Humana Hospitals, where no emergency is too minor.
Okay, well, let's go take care of it right now.
Folks, at Ira's Diamond World, diamond earrings are on sale now for the holiday starting at just $39.95. My quarter-carat total weight are now just $249.95. This half-carat pair is now just $450, and this one-carat total weight pair is now just $12.95. Compare my quality to anyone else's, and you'll see the difference. You work hard for your money. Make sure you get your money's worth. Ira's Diamond World in downtown Bluefield and Richlands, and the new Beckley crossing next to Walmart. Now open every night till 8 and Sunday 1 to 5.
Let me get John Grubbs, Tony Palmer. Hey, Tony. Tony, tell me, how's it feel, buddy?
Feels great.
You good?
Yes.
You wish you were up running around with them?
Hell yeah.
Good season, John. John, how you feel?
Great.
You guys did an outstanding job.
Hey, it's all for these two and us as a team.
Where's Coach Carlock?
I'd like to say, we couldn't have done none of this for Coach Carlock and all the other assistant coaches, man. They're the greatest. We love them.
Yeah. What the write-up in USA Today do for the ball club?
It just made everybody play even harder. They wanted to do the best they can, just want to do it for the coaches and the great fans we have.
You guys have done this on a team effort all year long. Your special teams, offense, defense, you guys have done it all very well.
Yes, sir. Well, we worked more as a team this year than years before. Everybody's together, and the coaching staff, they just have us ready for everything.
Good job. Thank you. Hey, Tom. Sam, what do you think about this state championship for the G-Men?
It's absolutely fantastic. It's a great day for Grimm High School.
I tell you what, the fans really come on and supported this team all year long, and it's a great win for you guys.
Yeah, the whole community's been behind them all year long. I tell you, Coach Carlock and his staff have done a great job. What can you say about this team? It's a real team effort. They're outstanding. No question about it. They deserve all of it.
How's it feel?
I don't know that it has really sunk in yet. You know, they put a whole daggone 6.5 gallon of Gatorade on my back, and I'm so cold I can't stand it. We're just tickled to death for them. They have really, nobody knows how hard they've worked except themselves. And they're probably the proudest 46 people right now in the United States.
The write-up in USA Today, that had to be just a high point of the club other than the state championship. What did that do to the club?
Well, you know, we're down there kind of rural, and you're not noticing anybody, nor not thinking anybody notices you. And one day, Mr. Garner called and said, "You can't hide forever." And I said, "Well, we've never hidden. We've never tried to." But it's all a credit to them. They have done so well. And, you know, here about the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, they've really gotten behind them, the community, and both Bluefields have really gotten behind them, and it's just been a tremendous. I cannot explain what it's been for them.
Your career in coaching spans 25 years or so. This is definitely the highlight?
Oh, I don't think there's any question. It's not definitely a highlight. But, you know, really for us, you know, our job is to try to prepare them and get them ready to do things like this. For them, you know, this is something they'll never forget. There's no way they could ever forget it.
I hate to ask you, but you're losing some seniors. You got to look forward to next year. I don't want to press you on that, but what's your ball club going to look like?
Well, you know, we've got Marcus back and Ricky Brown and Pascasio, and we got some big young kids that are sophomores, and of course Eric Workman is a big boy. He'll be back. But you know, they'll go. I think this right here will really help them to go back to work next week to try to start preparing for next year. You know, definitely got to fill positions. As someone has told, I guess in every interview, you know, we started with these kids, the biggest part of these seniors, 3 years ago, and
like I said, they have come to a point for where, you know, this is the final chapter and what they wanted to do.
I tell you what, it doesn't look like you're going to let go of that ball. We may want to put a chain and a lock on it for you.
Well, I'm going to give this to one of them. I let them choose who it goes to. You know, championships are for kids. We're adults in a kid's game, and how in the world can you do anything for them? It's any better that's happened right now. You know, we try to get them in the right places and let them play, not stymie them with a whole lot of things to do, and I think today was very obvious that they were able to do it.
13-1, great season, state championship, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
First, we'll start with Chris Patton, who had an outstanding game. You were all over the place, offensively and defensively. Your contribution to the game, and how do you feel?
I feel great. You know, I don't know. Anybody that's won this thing, you know, it ain't no way. They know it ain't no way to explain the excitement and the feeling that you have when you do this. And as far as being all over the field, I'm just, if it wasn't for the other guys, I'd be getting killed, you know, on defense, because the men in front of me, they keep them off of me so I can get a little room to run there.
You kind of remind me of Bill Bates of the Dallas Cowboys, number 40. You watch Bill Bates?
Yes, sir.
Anybody said that to you before?
No, sir. Nobody said it.
You look a lot like Bill Bates when you, Marcus, a state championship. Has it even sunk into you yet?
Yes, I'm just overjoyed. I can't believe it. It's the first thing I've ever won in football, really.
What's going to be your future now that you're going to be leaving?
I got another year, but I hope to play college and go on to play pro too.
Okay. Outstanding game for you, Marcus. Appreciate that. Okay. Lance, another outstanding game for you guys. You've done it all year long. Special teams, offense, defense. You've pulled together as a team.
Well, I'd just like to thank the coaches and all the assistant coaches that go, and all the people and all the fans that came out here and supported us all through the year. I'd just like to thank all of them.
You know, that's something, Lance, that you guys do and you do well, is when you're out on the field and when the crowd's not really behind you, you guys waving your arms and they really get into it, so you got a lot of good fans.
We sure do. It's just great. It's a great feeling.
All right, Lance, congratulations. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Outstanding job all season long and an exceptionally good job today. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels great. There's no way to explain it.
As far as defense, have you played much defense all year?
Well, not this year. I haven't played much. I'd go in every now and then when the guys would get tired or the coaches had to tell somebody something. I'd go in, so I knew what to do. It's just I had to get used to catching my air, really.
So Tony Palmer being gone and you guys having to cover for him, you were in on basically the entire game then?
Yes, that's true. That's what I was saying. I had to catch my breath. And that was one thing, you know, that was really hard to do. That was the worst thing, but I knew what to do, and I knew I had to do it, so I just did my best.
Your feelings about Coach Carlock and your senior year here in a state championship?
If there's any coach, Coach Carlock is the guy. He's the best man I've ever met. He's done a lot for me. He's taught me a lot about life. He's taught me more about life than he has about football. And as far as today's game goes, it's the best memory anyone would ever want to have.
You guys are up 3-0 going into halftime. Did you think it would you'd have more points on the board, and what did he tell you in the locker room?
Well, yeah, we thought we would, and, you know, we had the opportunity. We just missed some field goals. We just went in there and said, we got to make the holes, and we got to have the backs run through there. We got to keep running hard. We got to keep doing what we've been doing all year and not make the mental errors, and they told us we could do it, and we did.
When you saw your school written up in USA Today, and if anybody reads a sporting newspaper, it'd be USA Today as far as the team, what did you think about that? That kind of blow you guys away?
Oh, yeah, it was great because, you know, not much happens in Bluefield, Virginia, and to see us in there and being from Bluefield, it made us feel really special.
That'll be $80, please.
$80?
Well, you said you wanted the scenic route.
Here. You sure this is the right address?
You bet. Have a nice trip.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a good time.
Hey! My cane!
Skip! Skip?
Dear Ed, L.A. is for you, dude. Lost some surprise waiting for you in the fridge. Fries inside.
I got you. You did not.
I did too.
Yeah, you didn't.
Oh, it's
Good to see you, Eddie. How you doing?
How are you?
What took you so long? I could have died in there. Oh, man, you are so crazy. What if the door got stuck? Well, life is a series of risks, man. And you have taken the ultimate risk by coming out here to live with me, dude. Look at your clothes. Man, what is this dude stuff? You're from Ohio. Come on. Not anymore. Not anymore. Come on. So you see, I scanned my way into house sitting for this big advertising agency, right?
kidding?
What do you think, man?
I think it's great.